Hello photography fans, and welcome to another episode about classic cameras and classic photo gear. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing yet another classic camera. We're going to be talking about a camera that didn't have significant input into photography world, but nevertheless, it is a classic. Let's meet our subject. This here, ladies and gentlemen, this not so impressive looking camera is a French camera. Yes, we're going to be talking about French camera. This here is a Coronet Le Polo, okay, made in France. French camera manufacturer Trinity, after World War II, was producing a series of cameras for British company Coronet. This here is a beautiful example of one of these cameras. Most likely this beauty was produced in early 50s. Not much is to be found on the internet about this camera, especially about this model Le Polo. But nevertheless, let's take a closer look at it and let's see what we can learn. As you can see, this is a simple box camera, similar to many box cameras that were out there in around the 50s. What caught my attention at the first glance was this two windows here. One says 16p and one says 8p. The P stands for French word pose, which I believe is a frame or pose, most likely. I'm not a French scholar, so I don't know what that means, but I believe that's what it stands for. It turns out that this camera was most likely capable of producing not only 6x9 exposures, but also 4.5x6 exposures with a provided mask that this particular one didn't come with. On top of the camera, there's an aluminum or sheet metal handle. So instead of a leather handle that would normally break off after a while, this one is pretty solid, pretty sturdy. The front of it is what's very interesting. Very nicely ornate nameplate with a company logo Coronet, the name of the camera Le Polo, and on the bottom it says Déposé, whatever that means. Over here on the side it says 8 poses, 6x9 centimeter, and over here it says 16 poses, 4.5x6 centimeters. Yet another company logo. Inside you can see the lens. It's a Meniscope Trinity objective. It's a pre-focused camera, so there's no focusing. Works pretty much from 5 feet all the way to infinity. It's a meniscus lens, so 2 elements probably. On the side of it, you can see the advanced knob. And what's interesting, they even embossed the name of the camera, Coronet Camera, and the name of the company rather, and then made in France on the bottom. Also on the side, as you would imagine with other box cameras, you have the lever to trigger the shutter. And on top of it, you have your little tab that you pull out, and this tab allows you to take instantaneous pictures when it's inserted, and when it's pulled out, it works as a bulb mode. On, off, on, off. When you push it down, it's instantaneous speed around 1/30th, 1/50th. Now, to open this camera, you can easily just push this tab, this teardrop tab. Let me zoom in on it. This little tab here is This little tab here is shaped with a little teardrop, so you just push it down, lift it out, up and away. As you can see, the little shape that locks this thing in place. There are two of those. One is on the side and one is at the top, so you do the same thing. Also, in order to pull it all apart, you need to pull out the advance knob all the way out to release the tab inside, and the camera spreads apart. Not much interesting here either. Like I said, there used to be a mask. Could have been an option, I'm not sure. But this is a simple cardboard construction. Nothing exciting about it. The two little windows, what I like about this particular design is they have the covers. So you just swing it open, look at your number, swing it back up. So this way you don't accidentally expose your film if you happen to point it back to a strong light source. There's a logo embossed in the back of the camera, but it's all worn out, so I'm not sure what it says. Maybe it says Trinity camera manufacturer for Coronet, I'm not sure. In order to slide these pieces back together, you simply align them, push them back together, and then close the little tabs. 1, 2. And then push the winding mechanism in so that it engages the spool. You have two viewfinders. These are standard box camera style viewfinders, and one is for horizontal pictures and the other one is for vertical pictures. It's really hard to see through those, but once you get used to it, it works pretty good. So at the end, let's listen to the beautiful sound of this rotary shutter mechanism fired at enormous 1/30th or 1/50th of a second. Wow. Amazing. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this short overview of not so exciting camera, but nevertheless a classic, a cool camera. And that's what this show is all about. Classic beauties. So make sure you subscribe if you like these videos. If you don't like, you don't have to subscribe. Actually, you don't have to subscribe at all. But I would really appreciate if you did. I'm not a subscriber collector. I simply make these videos for people to enjoy. I don't make any money of it at all. This is my passion. And this is what I like to do when I have 5 minutes of free time. When kids don't run around, knock stuff over, and invite me for their tea parties. So, subscribe, and that will allow you to view more videos when they become available. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you keep shooting film and keep the film alive.